It's day 4 on our Walt Disney World trip, and we're hitting up 2 parks. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I am Joe, and today we are talking about a big day with a lot of movement between 2 parks. So big, in fact, we're gonna give this one an episode title, and its title, 37,000 Steps. And no, the thumbnail's not clickbait, I promise. Stick around and you'll see. We took the bus from Pop Century to Disney's Animal Kingdom and checked out the Christmas tree before we made a beeline to Pandora, the world of Avatar, to get those rides in early. Starting with Avatar Flight of Passage. It's really one of the most amazing queues when you look around.
Flying on the back of this powerful animal called an ikron, or as we call it, a banshee. The way you're going to do this is by being matched to something called an avatar.
Next up, we made our way to Navi River Journey with a minimal wait time. It was excellent. Getting those ones done quickly let us head over to Kilimanjaro Safaris before it started getting hot, with the bonus of a low wait time.
The tiny treats can also be turned into cheese. If you like to get a closer look at some animals similar to these goats, head down to the trip. Plan to watch.
Next up, we went on a little walk on the exploration trail to discover some of the animals that we couldn't see on the safari, including a bunch of little Timones acting all cute and junk, and the gorillas who were out in full force today. After that, we took the train trip to Rafiki's Planet Watch to do the thing that arguably the kids, especially Abby, were most excited for today, the goats.
Look, there's Dad. I love goats.
Do you have pocket big enough for a goat?
Yeah, we have.
Patty? Oh, good from. Oh, you get brushed.
Oh, hi, goat.
Going back, I'll wipe your feet with a wipe. Yes. And your shoes on
But goats weren't the only animals we got to pet that day.
Jen here at Animal Kingdom. She's been with us for 17 years. And she's been doing this her whole life. And that's why her name is Noodles. She was so teeny tiny when she came here. Just a little baby snake. And I have loved her every minute of that time. Where are you from?
Canada.
So the eastern pine snake gets close to you on the upper East Coast area, like at least into Pennsylvania and that kind of area. But throughout the U.S., we've got bull snakes and different types of pine snakes. She just happens to be the lightest colored one because in Florida, our soil is sandy.
So after petting the goats, we were getting a little hungry. The 2 things are not related, I promise. So we headed back to Pandora for some lunch at Satu'li Canteen.
So I had one of the create your own bowls. I had the mix of the chimichurri beef and the wood-fired chicken on noodles with the charred green onion dressing. And oh my God, I'm typically called out for being one of the more picky eaters, but there were so many things in here that I was just in love with. The chimichurri beef just melt in your mouth. The chimichurri flavor was good, not too heavy on it, so it wasn't overpowering the beef. It was just right. The wood-fired chicken, the char on the actual chicken itself was really good. A little dry in comparison to the beef, but it was all right. Once you get everything mixed up and stuff like that, totally fine. Noodles really good. There were just so many of them. It is what it is. And the charred green onion dressing was a fantastic addition for that meat and stuff like that. I still get that kind of scallion kind of taste in the back of my throat right now. Overall, really good dish, huge portion for what it is. So if you need something to get your energy going for the second half of the day, this is gonna be it.
So I had the Ocean Moon bowl, which was delicious. It came with so many different colors. I love colorful food. There was melon radish, there was edamame, there was colored carrots, blue noodles, tuna, mango pearls. It was delicious. All of it together was just really good. I also had the Beach Blonde beer. It's pretty good. It's a light ale. I was going for the grog. It was green. I wanted it. They were sold out. But this one's pretty good. It's light and refreshing. It's very citrus heavy, and it's pretty good.
I had the kids' quesadilla meal with veggie chips. If you don't have a spice tolerance, then I would not really recommend the veggie chips. But other than that, the quesadilla was really good.
Doing a review on behalf of my daughter, she had the wood-fired chicken with the rice and beans with the creamy herb dressing on it. She did not care much for the pearls that came on top, the boba pearls. They were a sour popping pearl, didn't really care for the sour. She actually gave them to her brother. Other than that, she liked it overall. She tried all of our meals. She liked hers the best, and was just kind of one of those overall, once you get it all mixed up and eaten, you're good to go.
So it was after lunch that we actually headed over to Expedition Everest. I remember specifically because I tend to get a little motion sick when I go on rides that go backwards, and I had just had a really big meal, so I was a little nervous about it. But the really weird thing is I have absolutely no footage, no photos, anything of that time period. Maybe I was a little too focused on not throwing up in front of strangers, who knows? The good news is I was totally fine. Meds did their job, cast members didn't have to clean up after me. It was a win-win situation. Next up, we headed to Dino Land to say our last goodbyes to an old classic dinosaur.
Hello, I'm Dr. Marsh, Director of the Dino Institute, and I hope you enjoyed those quaint exhibits in the old wing. That's how dinosaurs have been presented to the public since the study of fossils began over 150 years ago. In a moment, you'll be going live to our control center for a comprehensive safety briefing, and then it's on to the tool that will convince you forever that the future is truly in the past.
I'm Dr. Seeger, your friendly controller, and a heck of a paleontologist, if I do say so myself. If I can bring you back from the Cretaceous period, it stands to reason that I can bring back a live dinosaur with you. And not just any dinosaur. Take a look at this guy. He's an iguanodon, and I'm certain that he is the key to understanding these magnificent creatures.
Okay, now, let's go get that dino. Computer, what are you tracking?
Styracosaurus.
Not our dino.
Hadrosaur. Raptor.
Time to get serious. Locking autopilot on homing signal now! Computer, now what?
Carnotaurus.
That's it! Abort mission!
Asteroid impact.
Brace yourself! This is it! They're not gonna make it! They're not gonna make it!
Mission accomplished.
You made it! I knew you would, and guess who made it back with you? I better find him before security does. Thanks for everything!
Now, I think on social media, I'm known for being a little bit cold towards things closing. My stance usually being that people aren't really against the ride being taken down for any other reason than it's a ride that they liked when they were a kid. And that's an okay thing to want to relive a little bit of your childhood while you're at Disney World. But I take the stance that no matter how much of a kid we feel like when they're there, Walt Disney World is still for the real kids. And most of the things that they're getting rid of right now, as much as I like them, we're talking about Muppet Vision 3D, we're talking about the Liberty Bell. I can tell you as a parent of a teenager and a 9-year-old 9-year-old, they just aren't excited about those things. They didn't care much about Dinosaur, even though they liked those things more than the other things I just listed. They weren't excited by Muppet Vision. They weren't excited by the Liberty Bell. And we need to take into account that the things that are going away get to stay in our memories, and now we get to bring in new things that will be new memories for them, things for them to be excited about. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that I always agree with what they're replacing things with or anything like that, but I just wanted to share where I'm coming from when it comes to that.
Okay, so we've got a lightning lane for Cali River Rapids. Didn't really need it. It was about 5 minutes.
So please watch your step.
Thank you. But what I really want to see is how wet we actually get on this ride. We're all completely dry right now, so see you when we get off. Yeah, so far so good. It's a drop on me. Here we go. Hopefully that's the worst of it. Oh, that was jarring. Is this ride punishment for deforestation? I didn't do it. Looks like I'm going backwards. Oh no, this is gonna be me. Yeah. Unnecessary. So yeah, I got wet, but it's just the total right side of me. The seat next to me was empty. It was supposed to be, or would have been my daughter had she wanted to go home on the ride, but she's like, no, I don't want to get wet. Bullet dodged. What about you? How'd you do? You got a little bit on your glasses.
Yeah, I got a little wet.
I got fairly wet on the leg, just right there. That's about it.
Next up, we took in a beautiful view of the Tree of Life and snapped one of our many pictures of the day. Then, as luck would have it, the line for Flight of Passage was relatively small, so we hit it up for one more time just before we left the park.
Is it loud in here? I don't know if it's loud in here.
We grabbed the bus from Animal Kingdom to Epcot, where we were having our dinner. But on our way to our first destination, we made a quick stop so we could take a look at the gingerbread spaceship Earth. It was beautifully made, and don't ask me how I know, but it just tasted okay. After that, we made our way out of Epcot to the Boardwalk, specifically Blue Ribbon Corn Dogs, to try their giant mozzarella stick.
So the mozzarella stick was a lot. I'm glad we shared it. The spices in it was a little heavy. I think it was oregano and or thyme that was a little heavy on, but other than that, it was really good.
I'm sure I got no sauce on my face. And for me, I didn't mind the seasoning so much. It had a nice little salt to it too, which I liked. It was just a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be as well. Like, it was proportionate to a normal sized mozzarella stick, really. You gotta be careful once you get down kind of halfway and where that stick is. We just opted to slide it off at that point. Your face is messy. Oh no, it's not. You're fine. And credit where credit's due, the marinara sauce, considering the fact that it was like some prepackaged whatever, was still pretty decent.
We needed a break for our feet's sake, so we took the boat back to Epcot's International Gateway. Then we made our way across World Showcase to the Mexico Pavilion, where we had dinner at the San Angel Inn. It was a little too loud for us to review the food while we were in there, but Carrie had herself a Classica Margarita and she loved it, as well as the Osobuco con Mole Negro, slow braised pork with rice and mole negro served with plantains, crema mexicana, and cotija cheese. She wasn't big on the plantains, she never is, but she really liked the pork. But she also got really full fast, probably due to force feeding her a bunch of cheese right beforehand. I had the Baja Tacos de Pescado. It was lightly breaded cod with shredded cabbage, lime aioli, and pineapple relish. The fish was so light and the flavors were all there. I wasn't a huge fan of the aioli. I never am really a huge fan of aiolis. I took a little bit of it off, but I was fine with what was there. But overall, it was a really good dish. Reese had the kids' quesadilla meal with a fruit cup and rice, so that's 2 quesadillas for the day. And Abby had herself a chicken Caesar salad. I know, chicken season when you're at a Mexican restaurant. Now, to be fair, she's usually a very adventurous eater, but to also be fair, she was also fed a bunch of cheese right before, and she wasn't super hungry by the time we got to the table. For dessert, I had the brownie sundae with dulce de leche ice cream and cajeta sauce, which was incredibly rich, arguably too much for how much I was eating that day, but vacations, you know. The girls were still super full, so they split a flan and they enjoyed it as much as they could, as full as they were. After dinner, we made our way all the way back around World Showcase to the International Gateway exit and grabbed the Skyliner back to Pop Century, ending our day. But that's it. 37,745 steps. I'm actually going to show it to you so you believe me. This is the most number of steps I have taken in a single day for anything. A close second would be when Carrie and I went to Las Vegas and we renewed our vows on our 10th wedding anniversary in front of the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, and we walked from our hotel to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign in 44-degree temperatures. That was so hot that the wheels of some planes at the airport were actually sinking into the tarmac and they had to cancel flights. But we were a very active group. This was not the last 30,000 plus step day that we had on our Walt Disney World vacation. But because this step count was so high and shocking, I just thought it was worth a little bit of focus in this one. Needless to say, we were really glad to be able to put our feet up at the end of the day and get some rest, but we were also ready for a huge day 6. So if you want to check that out, make sure you hit the like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when that video comes out. Why don't you leave a comment down below while we're at it? It helps engagement. How about we just answer this question? What was the most number of steps you took in a single day and why? If you don't have anything to say, leave your favorite emoji down there. It also helps. But that's going to be it for this one. Stay tuned for our little photo slideshow at the end of this. And as always, if you can't see the magic, make it.